First of all, I'd like to thank all of you for being here. I know a lot of you have traveled far distances to be here and to say goodbye to my dad. I know he loved you guys all. It's not an easy task to sit here or stand here before you all to honor my father in just a few words. Although many years were lost between us, there are still many memories that come to mind when I think of my dad. So rather than ramble on with long-winded story after story, I'm going to ask each of us to sit for a moment and remember something about this man who has touched each of our lives. I will always remember my dad as being one of the most humblest, most confident men in the world. From the way he chose to dress, to the way he would talk to anyone, anywhere, whether they were homeless, a business professional, or just some random pretty lady. Pops was a savage. And his irrefutable and sometimes argumentative logic, his sharp sarcasm, corny dad jokes, and his stories. Oh, his stories. Yeah. I'm sure you guys all heard about one of his first interviews. You know what I'm talking about. Yes. Okay. So, kids, I'm sorry for this one. Very sorry. But I'm going to tell the story. Okay. It said that while he was in this interview, and forgive my accent, he told the interviewer, "I do the fucking. I put the penis product in the box and I fuck it good." And how the lady interviewing him just turned me red. Yeah, that was my dad. Over the years, through the good times and the bad, Dad took the time to teach me a lot of things. Like how practice makes perfect, about math. Oh, there's a lot of math. You guys know about that too. And how to make a arroz caldo. But none more important than life is shorter and more brutal than we realize. That we can only do what we can do, to laugh as much as possible, and to appreciate every moment we have, despite the circumstances. And that family is always, always supposed to come first. Oh, and Sparkin Heights.
All when we were injured. So yeah, if no one will remember him, then I will.
All right, there's no closer. I got nothing. But all right. So Cirilo Vintayen. Better known to me as Uncle Cirilo. He was a great man. He was a real example of what a macho man was. Uncle Cirilo was a step above my dad. Man, it's tough because I always thought my dad was tough. My dad was like an alpha, and Uncle Cirilo was was like a man, like a cut above my dad. Like I thought I was scared of my dad. I was scared of Uncle Siri, man. It was tough. Uncle Siri was always quick to tell us to stand up straight, talk like a man, puff out your chest, you know, and it's like every time he'd come to San Diego, it was always a scary time. I always have anxiety with Uncle Siri. You know, and so it's like we live 400 miles away in San Diego. Mom and Dad would tell us, hey, Uncle Siri's coming to visit. As soon as I heard those words, I'd develop a really cold sweat, and that would trickle all the way down my spine. The thing is, with Uncle Siri, it's like, you can't fool him. Like, he'll come over, you'll talk to him, and he's so quick to call you out. So if you say anything weird or anything that doesn't make sense, he'll be like, what? Come again? And then you have to repeat what you said, and sometimes you'll feel really stupid. The thing is, like what Bogus said, Patrick just said, the thing with Uncle Siri was he loved math. He was really smart. And growing up in this family, it's like we pride ourselves on excelling. And in 3rd grade, my dad was already pushing algebra onto us. I mean, we spent countless nights till like 3 a.m. practicing variables and all sorts of weird stuff, and I thought it was great because I thought it was preparing me for life, but really it was preparing me for Uncle Siri. It was bad because growing up I thought I had a fear for teachers, but that was nothing compared to Uncle Siri. You'll come around and Uncle Siri would just say, hey, I heard you know algebra. It's like, yeah, Uncle, I know algebra. He's like, all right, tell me about the Cartesian coordinates. That's the official name for X and Y, you know, when it comes to these axes. And Uncle would sit there drilling you, and you're just sitting there, and the nervousness would just build up. It was just so much. Anyway, the last time I spent with Uncle Siri was Christmas of 2014. And if any of you guys know our family, we kind of have an issue with dementia. Yeah, Alzheimer's, dementia. Inang had it, Uncle Siri had it. So while he was there at our house, I tried to talk to him because I actually I was able to sit there and spend a whole day with him and try to figure out what he still remembered when we were kids. And so I sat there and I ran a story by him about Olive Avenue and how he and my dad, they were working on my Uncle Richard's buggy. And with like the barest of tools, these two guys, they were able to get it to get up and running. I mean, they had pieces of wood, one jack, a couple of, sockets, and this thing all of a sudden was up and running. And I was telling my uncle this, and he's like, oh yeah? I did that? And I said, yeah, Uncle, you were strong, man. You were strong and smart. It's like he didn't even remember. So, yeah, man, it was tough. It was tough seeing Uncle like that, just because I knew what he was before that. So, anyway, I mean, I love you, Dad. You're still a scary guy, but your brother was.
Scarier.
Yeah. He was definitely a scary guy. Anyway, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Siri, I love you, man.
I would say that he was equally as funny. I think a lot of us have a lot of good laughs with him. The whole scary math thing. I remember him being on the phone with my mom. My mom says, "Oh, Uncle Siri's on the phone." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." And she's like, "Oh, he wants to talk to you." I was like, "Oh no." First thing he says, "Mark, 5 times 5." So he was, you know, the math guy. He would try to keep us as sharp as possible. But I think the most memorable moment that I had with Uncle Siri was when a lot of you guys came down to San Diego, and you know, San Diego's quite a long drive, and so they stayed with us, and we had. I just very vividly remember this. We had our table set, everyone was eating, and I don't know what I did, but my mom got really mad at me. She's like, "You're not using your head, use your head." And I was like, I was sitting next to Uncle Siri. He goes, yeah, use your head, eat it. And it's like, you know, it was just, everyone started cracking up. And I didn't know what to do, so I used my head. So there was rice all in my hair. I don't have hair anymore, but there was rice all in my hair. Because he was like, yeah, use your head. I think that was probably the most quintessential comedic memory I have of Uncle Siri. And I just want everyone to kind of remember just those moments, right? Like just taking all that great stuff, all that funny happiness that we have in Uncle Siri. I think that tops anything that should kind of wash over our experiences. So remember him laughing. I could just see him just cracking up. Whether it was making fun of you for not knowing your times tables or you getting in trouble, just remember that he's just cracking up with you. So, that's mine.
Yeah, good afternoon, guys. I have nothing prepared, but honestly, I'm not lost, you know. Uncle was a really good guy. Every weekend, every day, he would always come over, visit my dad. They'd always watch movies together. Sometimes we would take a walk around the block. I don't know what they're talking about, but I fell a couple of times on my scooter trying to keep up with them. But Uncle Cirilo always tests me about mathematics all the time. Uncle always asks me, "So, what you know about algebra?" I'm like, "Algebra? I don't know anything about algebra yet. I'm only on addition and subtraction." "Oh, you should study, get ready. I know my algebra." Uncle was a really strong guy. Every time he came to visit, it was always a good time with Uncle. Always came by, always filled with laughs. Him and my dad always took a walk around the block. I don't know what they really talked about, but always together. Whenever they wanted to have someone to hang out with, come by, we were always around. So, yeah. Just remember, Uncle as a